Hi, gents, and welcome to our feedback lesson on the essay that you did 2 weeks ago. So, the essay was on Christmas is more important for Christians than Easter. Evaluate. In this lesson today, we are going to go through some of the things that people did really well and some things that you could all improve. First thing to say as an encouragement is everyone who answered this question understood what it was all about. If this question came up in a GCSE, this would be a dream question. There is so much to say. You know so much about this topic. Okay. First key word that I want you to notice in the question is this word Christians. So it's not saying, is Christmas more important than Easter in general? So for the world, it's saying for Christians, which is the most important festival. Some of you mentioned that more people in the world celebrate Christmas, that it's more of a cultural event than Easter. That's not really relevant here because we're talking about the importance for Christians, not just for general people. So we're going to go through some things you did really well and some things that we could improve. And this is just an introductory video, and then you will get to select which area you want to improve, and there will be another video for you to watch on that. So, firstly, what went well? Lots of you used relevant religious teaching. That was great. And lots of you chose your quotes really wisely. People used shorter quotes that they could remember. They used the same quote, but different parts of it for different parts of the answer. Okay, that's fine. Do that. Be sensible with the quotes that you learn. I've always said to you, if you're trying to learn one and you've been doing it for 20 minutes and it's not going in, leave it and choose another one. Okay, choose ones that you remember easily. Second thing that most of you did was you made really good, clear points. Remember, your first sentence in every paragraph should be a point that relates to the question. Your religious teaching comes after that as evidence, but first of all, you should have a point. And then thirdly, lots of you had a really good understanding of the question. So you knew what you had to do. You understood what it was asking and you linked back to the question frequently. Finally, I was impressed with the amount of key terms that were used. And what I mean by that is people saying things such as crucifixion, resurrection, rather than the cross and rising again. So just using that language that we discuss in lessons is really, really useful. That makes you stand out from other candidates. So well done. A lot of this stuff was really, really good. Now we're going to look at what we could improve on. So, structure. For lots of you, the structure was really good. For some of you, we need to do some work on that. What I mean by that is you should have 4 paragraphs, 2 for and 2 against, and a conclusion. And in each of your 4 paragraphs, you should have a point, evidence, explanation, and link back to the question. Some of you were putting your evidence in your point. Try to avoid doing that. Okay, so if that was you after this video, you're going to choose a structure video and spend some time going through your structure. For a lot of the work that I have marked, the second point is the one that you will focus on today, and that was explanations. Your explanations need to be detailed, not just to simply repeat the point. You'll remember an example, if I taught you the example that I give lots about what an explanation is. And I used to talk about pizza. If I said to you, what do you want for lunch? And you said, oh, I want pizza. That's your point. And then you say, I'd quite like ham and pineapple pizza. That's your example. That's the type of pizza you want. None of that has explained to me why you want pizza. And then if I say why, you say, oh, I want pizza because I'm hungry and it fills me up and I really like it. That's your explanation. So you're not simply repeating that you want pizza. If I said to you, why do you want pizza? And you said, I want pizza, that's not an explanation. But so often we do that when we're writing these essays. So in your explanation, for example, if you say Christmas is the most important event for Christians because it's the time when Jesus came into the world, in your explanation, don't just repeat that. Why is it important that Jesus came into the world? Why is that significant? Because a lot of you didn't tell me. A lot of you just told me that he did, and that's important. But in your explanation, I want to know why. And remember what the question is. So in your explanation, you're saying why. So why does that point make Christmas more important than Easter? Okay, we will do more work on that if you do the explanation video after this. Third point, stay focused on the question. Some of you started telling me that at Christmas people got presents and it was lovely and they spent time with family. That's great, you're right, but it's not relevant to the question. We're talking about why Christmas is more important than Easter for Christians. And I don't think it's because they get presents, okay? So stay focused on the question. Finally, your conclusions. We have done lots of work on conclusions this year, but some of you have went back to doing a one-line conclusion. Your conclusion is what can put you from a 7 out of 12 up to a 9 or a 10 out of 12. That's where most of your evaluation marks are going to come from. So in your conclusion, you have a few options. And if you choose the evaluation strand, you can look at this in more detail. But you can give both sides of the argument and justify why one is stronger than the other. You can challenge the question. You can say, actually, I don't think either of these is right because of this, this, and this. But make sure you are evaluating. All that means is that you're coming to an overall judgment of everything you have discussed. And you can't possibly do that in one sentence. Finally, a point for all of you to be aware of. Some of you produced great essays, and I want to say really well done. But for some of you, I think the standard of work that you're producing at home is slightly lower than what you did in school. And I want to ask you, please keep working at the same level. Have high expectations for yourself. Even though your teacher is not in the classroom talking over your shoulder about what you have to do, please keep the same expectations. We will return to school, and when we do, your GCSEs will be closer. In RA, as a year group, I think you can all do really, really well, but it's so important that we don't lose this time, okay? So I know it's tough. I know it's hard to be motivated. We're all finding that, but please keep going. And when you're doing work to hand in, please make sure it's your best. Okay, so that means 4 paragraphs and a conclusion. In future, if that's not done, we'll just send it back and get you to do it, all right? They're the basics because we want to make sure that when we come back to school, that we're in a really good position. Okay, so over to you. Now what I want you to do is you will see there are 3 different videos below this, one on structure, one on explanation, and one on evaluation. I want you to select the area that you think you need to focus on as a result of your feedback. Your teacher has marked your work and given you feedback that will be on the classroom. If you can't find it, please email your teacher, or if you sent your essay over an email, etc., you might need to email them just to check that that's done. I know for my class, I have told you which one of these to focus on today. If your teacher hasn't told you that, just read through your comments and think what would be most useful to me. Obviously, you're welcome to watch more than one of these videos if you have time, but please make sure that you do the one that has been recommended. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon.